Have you ever walked through the door after a long day only for your dog to greet you with over-the-top enthusiasm and joy? Yes, this means they love you, but sometimes it can imply there's something else going on under the surface. What you have to ask yourself is, why are they so excited to see you? Is it because things were that bad without you? If so, why? They may well be suffering with extreme insecurity or separation anxiety, and time alone is challenging. Dogs who struggle with being on their own often experience a surge of stress hormones upon hearing you step through the door. This over-the-top reaction upon seeing you home isn't just happiness, it's relief. Relief that the horror of being alone is finally over. If your dog's greetings are consistently overblown and paired with other troubling signs, like your neighbors telling you they have a propensity for loud barking when you're not around, your dog that is, not your neighbor, it might be worth your time trying to reinforce calm behavior. Ignore them a little once they've settled down, then reward them with affection and attention to help shift their emotional response to your arrival. Your dog may jump on you when you get home. They bounce up in the air with the nimbleness of a frog on a trampoline and land on you with the heft of 100 frogs on 100 trampolines. And while this is more often than not little more than innocent enthusiasm, a sign of a happy dog who loves their owner, it can sometimes be learned behavior that they might need to unlearn. In many cases, dogs jump on their owners because they have learned over time that it will get a reaction, and they want that attention. If their jumping on you is getting annoying, when all you're trying to do is kick your shoes off, hang your coat up and decompress after 8 hours of arguing with your manager about spreadsheets or whatever, avoid engaging with them until all 4 of their paws are safely on the ground. This will make clear, eventually, that they won't get the attention they so desperately seek until they respect gravity. Reward their calmer moments instead of reinforcing the jumping by petting them and talking to them when they do it. You've probably guessed at this point, but the answer to all these questions is going to be yes. But yes, dogs don't always bring you one of their toys and dump it at your feet because they want you to play with them. It's one of the friendliest greetings a dog has in their arsenal, because it's them sharing their only resource with you. Now granted, you don't exactly need a cuddly squirrel called Captain Shenanigans, but they think you do, so bringing you one, and that is a huge social bonding gesture in the dog world. Some dogs even use this as a means to redirect their excitement, especially those who have been well trained not to jump or bark excessively. If your dog brings you one of their toys, you are being more than greeted. You're being welcomed into the fold, the community, but in a way they know won't be as disturbing as a loud bark. So acknowledge that gift and restraint with the praise it deserves. No prizes for guessing that the answer is yes. When you step through that door after a long day at work and an irritating commute, your dog may well be the kind of dog who whines and howls upon your arrival. It can seem like excitement. It can seem like quite the emotional reunion, the dog equivalent to crying with joy. But high-pitched whining often occurs when dogs are experiencing too many emotions at once. So whining as you step through the doors and back into the house often means they're experiencing excitement, but with anxiety in the mix as well. If your dog whines excessively when you come home, try to observe their body language to figure out what's up. If their tail is relaxed and wagging and their gaze loving and soft, this would suggest excitement. If their posture is tense or they're pacing, this may hint at underlying distress and bet yet another sign that they really struggled without you. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and anybody who identifies as none of the above, or 2 or more at once, we have our first no. Well, sort of. There's a huge caveat that means the answer to the question could be a yes. I just wanted to say no. Not all dogs greet their owners with enthusiasm. You may have been watching this video utterly devastated because your dog barely acknowledges your return. Don't you deserve love as well? Well, don't worry. This doesn't mean they are indifferent. Normally, it just means you have raised an independent and confident dog who's totally comfortable on their own. A far cry from some of the overly dependent dogs we've been talking about in the rest of the video. That's a great sign, as it means they cope without you in a healthy and measured way, so they don't feel the need for some kind of overly dramatic reunion. They know you love them, and they know they love you, so they're happy to be a touch more chilled about it. With that said, I did warn there is a caveat, and that's if this is new behavior. If your dog normally charges at you, jumping and whining, the second you step through the door, but suddenly they become indifferent, this may hint at insecurity or discomfort. as many dogs tend to withdraw if they feel stressed or unwell. If your normally hyper-excited doggo suddenly stops greeting you, try to monitor for any other changes in their behavior that might hint that something is up. Yes, it is. If your dog randomly presses their body against you, leaning into you, it can feel like they are merely trying to stop themselves from falling over. But that is far from what is happening. This is actually a hug in the dog world, and you should check out my entire video about dog hugs once you're done with this one. So, for that reason, it's very common for a dog to give you their version of a cuddle the second you step through the door. It's a bit like a child running up and hugging their parents within milliseconds of said parent getting home from a long shift. But while this behavior can indicate a desire for closeness, it can also be a subtle sign of unease. Sorry, I feel like I'm spending this entire video dumping bad news on you. Dogs that lean may be looking for physical reassurance. And why would they want that? Sadly, because of the aforementioned issue that is separation anxiety. If your dog frequently leans and exhibits other anxious behaviors during the first few minutes of you getting home, like following you everywhere, it may be worth considering gradual desensitization training in order to help them feel more secure when they have no company. Yes, it is. A dog choosing to welcome you home by running up to you and then flopping onto their back and exposing their gut can mean different things depending on the context. If they seem to be relaxed and are loosely wagging their tail, that's often a sign of affection and trust. But if they're tense, avoiding eye contact, well, hold the phone. They may be displaying submissive behavior out of anxiety. Just like most dog behavior in most circumstances, it's worthwhile considering their entire body language before jumping to a conclusion about how they may feel or what they may be trying to convey. We've got another no. No, it isn't. Some dogs greet their owners by barking. This can feel good. It can seem like they're happy. It can feel like they're yelling, "Hey, it's you're back! This is huge news!" But intense vocalization upon your return can mean a few different things. A high-pitched, rapid bark? Well, that typically signals excitement. But a far deeper, more prolonged bark? That tends to indicate frustration or stress, especially if your dog is known to struggle when left alone. Simply put, if they bark like a pop song, they're happy. If they bark like a rock song, they're sad. If your dog is the type to bark and howl when you come home, pay attention to the specifics of their bark to figure out if they're expressing delight or upset. Yes, it can be. Your dog may greet you once you are home and then refuse to leave your side for minutes if not hours. After a whole day without you, they seem to be making up for lost time by clinging to your side like a bad smell, haunting your every step. It's cute, it's endearing, but like some of the other things on this list, it may also indicate attachment issues. Dogs with strong bonds to their owners often exhibit clingy behavior. Not to give you even more homework, but I've got a whole video about overly clingy dogs on the channel as well. But if this escalates to the point that they literally can't relax unless you are around and won't leave your side when you are, this suggests that they have an insecure attachment, and that's not to be encouraged, as that just means they're miserable without you. And who wants a miserable dog? A dog's greeting is so much more than a greeting. It's a way to let you know they care, to let you know they may not be feeling great, that they've missed you, that they love you. There are a few other ways they tell you that they love you, as this next video will explain.